It's the Texas weather discussion video. This is for Friday, the 19th of July. I'm Donovan Neal. Hot and dry weather, seasonably hot and dry weather, will persist into the weekend, but a rare July cold front actually comes by during the early next week, and that could drop temperatures significantly. A very nice cool down coming up ahead. So here's the upper map across the nation. You can see much of the nation is actually in a upper high pattern. The mid-latitude westerlies are way up north in Canada. So that's why we're experiencing some of the excessive heat as you're getting ready to see. Temperatures already in the low 80s to upper 70s, very similar to yesterday, will be in the mid to upper 90s, and that'll be the same case for this weekend. But across the watch warning map, whew man, we have excessive heat warnings in effect for much of the nation's Corn Belt and much of the Midwest and the Great Lakes states, including all of Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, and all of Iowa, as well, and much of Missouri and some of those adjacent states. Also to the northeast, New York and New York State, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. Some of those areas are also under excessive heat warnings. Wow! And if you're not under the excessive heat warning, you're under a heat advisory or an excessive heat watch, where they're entering the dog days of summer. And even parts of the south central United States under a heat advisory, including Oklahoma, Arkansas, and some of those adjacent states. But down here in North Texas will remain quiet. On the convective outlooks, we have an enhanced risk of severe storms for places like Green Bay, Wisconsin, and parts of Minnesota as well. Tomorrow, marginal risk for parts of the Midwest and the Great Lakes states, and on day 3, pretty much the same deal. Here's the average rainfall for the next 7 days. You can see heaviest rainfall basically located along the mid-Atlantic coast in the deep south, and down here about a quarter of an inch, less than a quarter of an inch of rain expected early next week. With that cold front coming through, we could see a few isolated showers and storms during the daytime hours. But let's take a look at our drought monitor. Let's take a look at our drought monitors. Drought conditions have been steadily increasing for parts of our state, especially down to the south, where it's pretty much been a very long time since they had a good soaking rainfall. But that's okay, because we're going to probably most likely get some good rain, at least some good rain for parts of the southern half of the state this early next week. So on the tropics, Atlantic Basin stays quiet. Nothing new expected for the next 5 to 7 days. So let's take a look at the dailies here. This is the 060 run of the GFS file this afternoon at 4 o'clock local time. You can see the ridging over the Ohio Valley in the Midwest, and down here we stayed quiet and dry, seasonably hot and dry. Highs in the mid 90s, around 97. Same thing on Saturday, and same thing on Sunday. We should be mostly dry for the weekend. Again, hot and dry weather will continue. And here's Monday of next week. The rare summertime cold front actually comes through during the afternoon and evening hours, and we'll have to mention a chance of isolated showers and storms around that time frame. Again, highs in the mid 90s, and then on Tuesday, that cold front basically comes by and back, and we have this upper high pressure that's filtering in lots of dry air on the backside of that cold front, and of course we'll mention cooler temperatures as a result of that. I'm thinking highs will only be in the upper 80s on Tuesday, on Tuesday with the mix of sun and clouds, and that'll feel very, very nice. And here's Wednesday. Again, that upper high is basically located around the nation's Corn Belt. And with that, we'll continue to mention highs only in the upper 80s by that time frame. But on Thursday, we warm back to around 90 degrees by Thursday. But still, it'll feel very, very cool compared to this week. But here's a week from today, Friday the 26th. You can see we have troughing just to the south of us, ridging to the west. And down here, we stay relatively dry. But here's the end of the 10-day forecast period. This is Sunday the 28th of July. You can see we have troughing to the north, ridging to the east, and down here that looks pretty dry for us. Let's take a look at our numbers for the next 15 days. You can see highs basically in the mid to upper 90s through this weekend, but then that cold front comes through, and even the Europeans, we might be in the upper 80s to low 90s for a little bit, and it'll feel very, 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 very nice for those next 6 to 10 days. Even the Climate Prediction Center is predicting way below average temperatures for through the 24th through the 28th of July, and that will feel very very, very nice if that were to verify. That's it for the Texas weather discussion video for today on my notes in the blog. My next video here will be posted at around 7 a.m. Monday morning. If you can, catch your local TV stations on the air this afternoon at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, and Godspeed.